Now, I, now I call upon one of our chief guests, Mr. Rizwan Sajan, to the stage, please.
May I also request Dr. Jabaka Palniappan to give a memento to Mr. Rizwan Sajan.
Thank you. Now I request Mr. Rizwan Sajan to give a keynote speech.
IBCN, IBCN.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, IBCN, for inviting me for this special conference which is being held in Dubai. Normally, I've given a lot of speeches, but I've given to the students or the budding enterprise. But what I can see over here, other than the budding enterprise, there are many entrepreneurs who are already here. So I was wondering what am I going to talk to them and what I'm going to tell to them. But since I'm here, the only thing what I can discuss is about the journey of my life from where I've started and where I've reached today. So if that is the message, which I would like to start with. Now, my name is Rizwan Sajan, as everybody knows over here in this, while the introduction. I'm the chairman of this group, Danube. Now, Danube is today a billion-dollar company where we do building materials, real estate, and properties, and Danube Home. So anything related to the buildings, we are associated with. But my journey has started with a very small, humble background. I was born in a lower middle class family. A lower middle class family means my father was able to give me an education in a convent school and was provided with the basic necessities. I did not have any money, even for a pocket money, because when I asked my daddy, I need some extra pocket money, he used to say, Rizwan, this is my balance sheet and I cannot give you any more pocket money. He put me into a school where all the rich people were studying, so I was always struggling to, cope up with the friends. So I said, Daddy, you are giving me only 15 rupees a month, and my friends are getting 100, 150 rupees a month. How do I, try to keep up the standard of living which they are having? So Dad says, Rizwan, I can't give you more than that. If you want to have extra money, you need to work over there. So I said, okay, fair enough. So I said, give me some money to do some business, and I will try to do some business over there. And that is how my journey of business started when I was only 12 years old. I started, the first money which I collected from my dad was 1,000 rupees he gave me. He said, this is 1,000 rupees I give you, do what you want. So I went, the best thing what I could think at that time was I went to the wholesale market where I picked up some books, school books, brought it to my house and approached all the students who were working, all studying with me. I said, you're buying these school books from the shop. Why not you buy from me? If you buy the school books from me, I'm giving you at the same price. And with the wholesale and what I was able to sell, I used to get that 10 to 15% margin. So this way, I started doing a lot of other businesses like selling school books, selling some crackers, selling rakhis. Wherever I used to get that opportunities of the small making this business, I've also given milk, by the way. There was a time there was no business opportunity available, and at that particular month, I was required to do some extra, make some extra money. So somebody told me there is a chance where you can go and give milk in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, you start to give the milk. Now to add a little humor to that, while I was giving the milk, there was a lady at 5 o'clock who used to receive the milk in the morning, a fat lady. And in the morning, one day it so happened that the fat lady did not come to take the milk in the house. The milk I used to go in the bicycle, like all the bhaias, they take that can of tin. So this, instead of the lady, one young girl came up to take the milk. And as soon as she saw me with the milk, she said, you. I said, you. Actually, she was my girlfriend, you know. The next day, she stopped talking to me, you know. She says, I'm not going to talk to any bhaiya dudwala. So after that, I lost the job of the milk also because while I was riding this bicycle in the night, my bicycle fell down and the milk fell down from there. Now, almost 30-40% of the milk which was there in the can was gone. Now, what do I do in the night? I said to myself, if 30-40% means it's going to be a big loss. So I looked around for some water in that area. I filled in the water in the milk container and I delivered the milk to everybody. In the morning, after delivering the milk, we have to go and give the accounts to the manager whom I was working for. While I went for the account, all the ladies whom I delivered the milk, they came. He said, what? You have got the milk. This was all full of water. So my boss says, what happened? This is what I said. I had to pull in the water and I told him the story. He gave me a big slap on my head. Go away. You don't come from tomorrow. So that's how I lost my job and lost my girlfriend for selling the milk, you know. So that's the start. That's the story which I started with. Now, this was fine, you know, everything was going perfectly all right. At the age of 16, I lost my father. Now, that was a big blow for me because losing a father at the age of 16, you know, I was provided with most of the basic amenities. Only for my pocket money I had to work extra. But all the responsibilities came into my head. Everything fell into my place. My father was working for a company called Nathani Steel Private Limited, where he was working for 20 years. So the company who he was working for, they called me, he said, Rizwan, now what are you going to do? I said, I have no idea what I'm going to do. There was some provident fund, which my dad, you know, made after he got the provident fund. That money was put into the bank account. So with that, I was making about 3,000 rupees with the interest of the provident fund. The company where my dad was working, I was given a job over there. I got 1,000 rupees from that. But still there was a shortfall of 1,000 rupees. So we had to somehow manage in that. In the meantime, I wrote to my uncle in Kuwait. And I said, look, uncle, your brother has expired. And I don't need any financial support from you. I just need some help of a job in your company, in case if you can call me in Kuwait. So at that time, he wrote to me, Rizwan, you are only 16 years old. I cannot give you a job at this moment. I thought to myself, probably this is also one of my relatives who don't want to help me because, you know, normally when you're in trouble, most of the times, the relatives really, you know, shy away from them. They don't want to really come forward and help the people. So I started working somehow, trying to manage my two ends meet. On my 18th birthday, I received a letter from this uncle of mine who had written 2 years ago. And he said, Rizwan, if you are still in, I remember you wrote to me, and now you are already 18, and if you want a job, you can come to Kuwait, and I can offer you a job with so-and-so condition. The job condition was 150 dinars. 150 dinars was 18,000 rupees at that time. 18,000 rupees, I started jumping, flying high. Like I was trying to make 4,000 to 5,000 rupees in India, and I'm getting a job of 18,000 rupees. So that changed my life. And I would all, you know, thanks for so much time that particular opportunity was given to me. So the message which I am trying to convey is over here is, you know, the people who are fortunate enough, wherever you get an opportunity, please try to help the future because you don't know, you will create so many other Rizwan Sajan in the future. I took up that job, 18, I started working for my uncle. Sales was in my blood. So the job offered to me was, you know, sales. I started to grow in that company. The company offered me a job of 150 dinars salary plus 10% commission on whatever I made, on the profit which I make to the company. Everything went off very well. I started earning more and more commission. By the time I left the company, I was earning about 15 to 20,000 dinars, which is 1,500 to 2,000 dinars, which is about, in Indian rupees, if I calculate, it's almost 4 to 5 lakh rupees a month. And when I was working for my uncle, the other people who were my colleagues, they were being offered 250 dinars salary and 5% commission, whereas I was offered 150 dinars salary with 10% commission. Now, because of the sales figure which I was to get for the company, the commission which I used to earn was very, very high, almost 1,500 to 2,000 dinars a month. Now that was pinching my uncle because my uncle was a very shrewd businessman, you know. He did not want it, he was not very happy that I was making 1,500 to 2,000 dinars of commission. So one day while walking, he says, Rizwan, can I make your salary to 300 dinars and reduce the commission to 5%? So with a fraction of a second, like Mr. Noemi said, he was, you know, very good in the accounts. So I was also very good, little bit, you know, not, although did not study much, but little bit I could understand the numbers very well. I said, sir, remove my salary, increase my commission. Anyway, he was my uncle, so he could not go back on my word. He was the word he was given to me, so I continued with that. And probably I would have continued working for him for a very long time because, you know, for a person who is not studied, who is not become, not graduated, earning about 25,000 dirhams a month at that particular time, I'm talking about 30 years ago. Fantastically, job is going perfect, everything in my favor, alhamdulillah. Like we say, I bought a house for myself, I got myself married, I got my sister married, I got a place, house also, where Shah Rukh Khan and Salman Khan is staying, you know, one of the best locations where I would get the house. So for a person like me, everything fantastically going, life is very good. And all of a sudden, Saddam Hussein comes in. Saddam Hussein comes into Kuwait. In the morning, 6 o'clock, I get a call from my boss. He was in London. He says, Rizwan, get up. I said, what happened, sir? You know, Kuwait has been invaded. At that time, I did not know the meaning of invade. I said, what do you mean by invade, sir? He says, Kuwait has been taken away by Iraq. Now, Iraq is going to rule the country. So I said, what difference does it make to us? Kuwait run or Iraq run? You know, we are going to run the same business. He says, no, get up, stupid, quickly get up and go and lock all the offices which we have, close it properly, make it sure that everything is intact. And as soon as I got out, I could see all the machine guns and, you know, all the big vehicles of the army in the road. I went to the office, closed everything down, and came back. For 2 months we were in Kuwait. All the communication with my uncle, everything stopped. You know, you must have seen the movie. I don't know how many people have seen the movie Airlift. We went through that same situation of airlift, and where with a lot of difficulty we got out. Now, when we got out of, I'm not, you know, because I've been asked only to speak half an hour, so I'm trying to cut short that story. We got out and we come back to Mumbai. When I came back to Mumbai, I had nothing in my pocket because little bit of money which I had was in the Kuwait. The bank account was all freezed. The only thing which I had was the house, not even a car. And in my pocket was only 150,000 rupees or 200,000 rupees. Now, what do I do with that 200,000 rupees? So again, from where I was driving Pajero in Kuwait, coming back, earning about 4 to 5 lakhs rupees, coming back to Mumbai, no job, no nothing, only 150,000 to 200,000 rupees. So that was a destiny. But touch wood, you know, what we did was, with that 50,000 rupees, I bought a scooty. I couldn't afford a bar, you know, the scooty which the ladies normally drive, that's not, because the motorcycle was even more expensive. So that scooty we were driving and somehow trying to make some money out of it. And I met a friend from Dubai for whom I was selling in Kuwait. When I was, this man I met, his name is Sudhir Basin. Now Sudhir Basin asked me, what are you doing? I said, at the moment I'm doing nothing, trying to, you know, survive over here, and I don't know what I'm going to do, trying to see how I can again come back in my life. So Sudhir said, will you work for me? I said, of course I would like to work for me. You have to come and work for me in Dubai. I said, what are you going to offer me? He said, I'm going to offer you what, he asked me what I was getting. He said, I told him 150 dinars plus commission. He said, I'll give you 300 dinars salary, plus I'll give you 25% commission. Because why Sudhir offered me that salary and commission? Because he knew that I was able to sell a lot for him in Kuwait. He said, you come and work for me and I'll give you this. 2 months, I'm waiting for my visa to come. No visa come. I called up Sudhir, what happened for my visa? Sudhir said, I committed to you 300 dinars, but I cannot offer you 300 dinars because the market here is very, very bad. Because at that particular time, during the invasion of the Kuwait, the Dubai market also collapsed. Everybody losing job, the business had come down to standstill. And this Sudhir Basin, who was doing hardware business, He says, Rizwan, I can't offer you this job, although I committed to you 300 dinars after a glass of drink, but at the moment I can't give you this 300 dinars. So I said, Sudhir, what do you want me to do? I can only offer you 150 dinars if you want to come to Dubai, and if you make some money for me, I'll give you 25%. I said, okay. So what I told Sudhir, don't offer me any salary. Just give me one room where I can sleep, a mattress or a bed, and not 3 times, only 2 times food. If I make some money for you, you give me the 25%. If I don't make the money, I will go back. And that's how I was in Dubai, But basically the message which I am trying to pass is, imagine a person who was drawing 20,000 dirhams, again to take up a job of 150 dinars or no job or without any salary. Not many people can do, because whenever I interview any person, I asked him, what is your salary? I said, my salary is 10,000 dirhams or 15,000 dirhams. So then I tell him, will you work for 14,000? No, sir, I will never work for 14,000. I have to get my 15 or I have to get my 17 or 18, then only I'll take up my job. He will never look, what is the opportunity, what you're getting. The important message is, if you find an opportunity, even if the salary is less, but you're going to work in a good company or going to get in a good, like for me, I was in Mumbai, I was getting an opportunity to go to Dubai. So I never looked at the salary, because I know this is an opportunity, I'm going to go to Dubai. There where I'm going to make my future. And that, I'm sure many of us in this room will not accept that, from coming from 20,000 dirhams, again to take up a job of 150 dinars or 1,500 dirhams and all that. So coming back to Dubai, I started working for this company. His company was not into building material, he was into hardware. Now, building material is a big business, because where I was working for my uncle. When I say building material, we used to deal in steel, cement, plywood, timber, it's a volume business. So the commission there is more. But in hardware, I was selling all these toolboxes, hammers and pliers and all that. So the volume of the business was very small. Although the percentage of the commission was high, but the volume was very small. So I used to make about 6,000 to 7,000 dirhams per month, but good enough, okay, from nothing, again started making 6,000 to 7,000 dirhams per month. Very happy. In the bargain, Kuwait invasion was there. US Army threw away Saddam Hussein out of Kuwait, and Kuwait was gone back to the Kuwait where it was. But during that invasion, all the Kuwait was completely stolen. I mean, Iraqis took away the furniture, Iraqis took away, including the bulbs. They removed everything what was there from Kuwait and took away. The port was destroyed, everything was destroyed over there. Luckily, I was in Dubai, and my friends who were in Kuwait, I started writing to them. I said, look, I am in Dubai. If you want anything from Dubai, we will start supplying you from Dubai. And I started getting lots of orders, because Kuwait was completely finished. And Dubai was the only opportunity they had where they could get within 1 week by road whatever they wanted. So I started getting a lot of orders from there. And luckily, we started making, the company started where I was working, we started making more money, and in the bargain, I started more money. So from 7,000 dirhams, I again started making 15 to 20,000 dirhams a month. So back to from where I started, within 1 year, we were again back to the same thing. For 1 year, this cycle happened where I was making 20,000 dirhams a month. After that, Kuwait started importing on its own. So the business, extra money which I was making from Kuwait, stopped. Back again to 6,000 to 7,000 dirhams. So I told my boss, look, you are into hardware business, and hardware business, yes, you are making money, but the business which I know is the building material business. If we start building material, which is the plywood, timber, steel, we can make more commission. But my boss said, boss, you're right, but the risk also is very big, and I don't want to take a risk. He was right, because I was only 27, 28 years of old. So he said, Rizwan, I don't want to take this business. I don't want to take the risk of doing the building material business. So then I said, I want to part with you. Can I try my business? So that's how we parted. I started my own company in 1992. 1992, when I started this company, I had 150,000 dirhams in my pocket. With 150,000 dirhams, we rented the place. I got a good car for myself, made the trade license, had the sponsor. With all this, 70,000 dirhams went away. So total money I had was 80,000 dirhams. I told my wife, we have this 80,000 dirhams, which will last us for 6 to 7 months. in 6 to 7 months, if I do not survive, anybody will give me a job of, again, 7 to 10,000 dirhams. So I'm going to take this risk, and I want your support. And luckily, my wife came to me. She was my first secretary who was working for me. Then I had Mr. Udaipan, who is over here, who invited me. Me and Udaipan, we started this company called Danube Building Material over here. It was not an easy thing because the business which I was into was brokerage business. For the first 3 months, I had no order because whenever I started approaching any of the building material company, people used to say, why should I buy from you? I am having already my direct contact. You have come from Kuwait. The contact which you have, we have much better contact from you. I'm not going to buy from you. Then there was a time when I realized that it's not working anywhere. And I saw an opportunity where there was an agency of galvanized corrugated sheets from Japan. Now, one of my competitor was selling the Japanese galvanized corrugated sheets, and he was selling the Indian corrugated sheets also. And when I went to one of the customer, that customer had bought the Indian corrugated sheets LC from this competitor of mine. So I told him, can I have that LC copy, that letter of credit copy? He gave me the letter of credit copy. I forwarded to the Japanese company. I said, look, you have an agent whom you have appointed to sell your Japanese corrugated sheets, but instead of selling the Japanese corrugated sheet, he is selling the Indian corrugated sheets. So the Japanese people are very loyal. You know, they say if you have to have three things in life, you should have a Japanese wife, you should have a US dollar, and you should have an Italian wine. So the Japanese people, if they are loyal, they always expect you to be also loyal to you. So they were very, very upset with this competitor. And he said, look, if you are selling the Indian, I will not give the agency to you. I am passing on to the agency to Mr. Rizwan Sajan of the Danube Group. There was no group at that time, Danube Company, Danube Building Material. So he gave me that agency, and with that, luckily, things started falling in my place because the people who were not entertaining me, they started giving me the orders. I was in a bank to receive some document, and one of the banker introduced me to one person. He said, this person has imported some MDF. MDF is medium density fiberboard. It's a wood. It's a new type of a wood at that time. And I said, okay, give me, what is this? He says he has imported, he is into sanitary business, but he is not able to sell this. I said, you give me the dollar, let me try. Now, I did not knew what is MDF, but I said, let me give it a shot. I came to the office, sent all the messages to all the companies which I knew, and luckily there was a shortage of MDF in the market. And people started buying from me this MDF which was there in the... I realized that this is a good business. So I should get an agency of MDF. So I went to Italy. I approached the company, Fantoni over there. I said, look, I want this agency of yours. The Fantoni says, I can give you an agency if you give me an order of 1,000 cubic meter. Because your company, your country, everybody wants to buy 200 cubic meter and 300 cubic meter. I said to her, how do I get this 1,000 cubic meter? So I approached all the 3-4 traders, big traders. I said, I'll give you 250 cubic meter, I'll give you 250 cubic meter, I'll give you 250. And that's how I collected the 1,000 cubic meter. I gave him Fantoni the order of 1,000 cubic meter of MDF. And that's how I got another agency. Now, when you have these two agencies in your hand, which means your life is set because Fantoni is an Italian company, Corrugated Sheets is a Japanese company, two good agencies. I started making 40,000-50,000 dirhams a month. From making 20,000 dirhams where I was working, started 40,000-50,000 dirhams. Life is perfectly set, everything is fine, God willing. Now, how do I move forward? You know, we were doing brokerage business. In the brokerage business, what happens is the buyer buys, the seller sells, and you are a broker. In the broker, you get your 1 or 2% commission. But you have to be very careful. You have to please the buyer, you have to please the seller, and that's how you move forward. And anything goes wrong, the broker is always taken a beating from the buyer side, from the seller side. We imported a consignment from Romania to one of the trader over here. The market was a little down. The documents came under discrepancy where the buyer rejected the document. The buyer went to the port, and because the material came in November, December, there was some fungus on the wood. I hope you guys are enjoying, because are you enjoying that what I'm talking, or is it too long on taking? Thank you. So in November, December, when there was some fungus on the wood. So when I went to the buyer, I said, look, can you accept the document? He said, no, I'm not going to accept this document. He called me donkey. This is donkey. This is the wood you gave it to me. I gave you the money. As I told you, if anything goes wrong, the broker always gets a beating either from the buyer or the seller. So I said, what is wrong, Mr. Farooq, with the wood? I went and saw the wood. It's nothing. It's just some fungus on the wood. You just have to clean it with a brush and it will be all right. So he's telling me, you're teaching me my business. I'm here in the last 20 years and I know what this wood is. This wood is not acceptable. I said, okay, Farooq, now what do we do? Farooq says, I want 70% discount, otherwise I'm not going to take this document. So I told the supplier, it was about, the total consignment value was $100,000. I said, boss, this man is asking 70% discount, and I think it's not haram to give him that 70% discount. So that supplier came running to the Dubai. We started talking to him. With lot of negotiation, he accepted only 50% discount. We came out of his meeting room. I said, this Romanian supplier, I told him this 50% is too much to pay him. The choice is yours, but I don't think we should do him. He says, what is the other choice you have? I said, the other choice is only one choice. You give me this material on consignment basis because I did not have the money to buy that material. And I will give you back with 20% down. Instead of 50%, I will pay you 80% back and only give you, I want only a discount of 20%. Now, $100,000 is a big money for anybody to give me the material on consignment because, it was the Rizwan Sajan only Danube big group and all that, and to give $80,000, $100,000 material without any money, without any collaterals, but only because of the reputation which I was working with him for such a long time, that document was given to me. I took that it's very important, whenever you want to do any business, you never should look at the long term. It's always try to create that relation because that is where it's going to take you forward. And that $80,000 material was given to me. I did not have a warehouse, so I told one of my friends that give me this document. I took took the material in that warehouse, got some Pathan laborers, opened the bundles with the brush, cleaned the whole thing, and so that costed me 10% more to do the whole cleaning. So the cost of the material was say $100. I got it for $90. With all the costing, I sold the material for $110. Now the total profit which I made was $20. That means I made in that $100,000, $20,000 profit. Now I said, this is good, yaar. Brokerage business is nothing. Trading business is better than the brokerage business because in trading you make 1% and 2%. In the trading business you can make 10, 12, 15%. And in one shot, $20,000 was 75,000 dirhams. And the whole month I'm struggling, I'm not able to make 40,000, 50,000 dirhams. But how to do trading? Trading, I don't have the money. To do trading, you need to import material. So all the suppliers to whom I was dealing with, the same Japanese corrugated sheet, the Fantoni from Italy, and the other suppliers from Romania, from Singapore, I said, look, boss, I'm doing brokerage from you. Give me small material, $25,000, $50,000, $100,000 material on consignment basis to me. Other than the brokerage business, I will do this business also be by side. And touch wood, many of that suppliers trusted me and started giving me that material on consignment basis. And that's how I become a trader from a broker. This brokerage business to trader started, alhamdulillah, very well. From 50,000 started, I started making 150 to 200,000 dirham because, of that material which we were getting on consignment. So everything was going on well. So then we approached the bank. The first bank was Habib Bank Age is Rich. Habib Bank Age is Rich gave me the opportunity to give some small line for letter of credits and to start with the banking facilities and all that. So we started importing more and more material. The first warehouse which we took was in Sharjah, and that's how we came into the trading business. Now I said if I have to grow further, I need to move little more rather than sticking only to Sharjah. So we opened another branch in Dubai, then we opened another branch in Abu Dhabi, and many other places then we went to Oman, Qatar, Bahrain. Instead of sticking only to the few products, important was the inquiries, whatever the inquiries we were getting, we started importing different types of building material. Today, if you look in our company, we have about 25,000 products of building material under one roof. And about 48 branches across the Middle East and Africa. But this was all done gradually, because the whole important thing was, if I had to survive, if I had to do like the other traders, deal only one or two products, we would never be today where we were. Either if I was only in Dubai, we would never be where we were. So we had to spread our wings, both geographically and also increase the number of products. And that's how we came to the business. Now, 2008, 2007, what we realized was there is an opportunity of doing another business which is other than the building material, is because a lot of people started owning their own houses. So that's how we conceived this idea of Danube Home. Now, Danube Home is a company where you have all the interior products. That means whatever you see in this room, the carpet, the curtains, the wallpaper, the chandeliers, the light fittings, the bathroom, the ceramics, the tiles and doors and windows. So I said, let us start this company because there's a huge opportunity coming forward. And that's how the Danube Home was incorporated. Today, Alhamdulillah, Danube Home also has been across all the major Middle East countries, the GCC countries across Qatar, Bahrain, UAE and Oman. That is being managed by my son, because my son, we put him in the training from 13 years, 14 years. So right now he's 28. So whole Danube Home business is managed by him. After that, there was an opportunity to start a real estate company. Real estate company was there for a long time to start. In 2007, 2008, when a lot of money was being made in the real estate. And all my friends used to tell me, Rizwan, why don't you also start a real estate company? Because you're into building material, you're into interiors. For you, it's very easy. But at that particular time, the real estate market was going really, very robust. I mean, it was unrealistic that anybody could survive. Every month, the prices were going up by 10, 15%. And somehow, back of the mind, I said, I don't think this is the right thing to do, because something which is going robust, you should never go forward. This lesson, I would thank my uncle who had taught me when I was working for him. He told me, Rizwan, always remember, don't get carried away with something which you see is very lucrative, because something is wrong in that. And one dialogue which I was always remember in my life is, a lot of people live rich, but very few people die rich. At that time I used to say, what this old man is talking that, what do you love? If you live rich, you live rich. You die rich, you die rich. What he means was, a lot of people who live rich, they get carried away, they get tempted when they do some liquidity, then they find some liquidity business. So don't get carried away. Whenever you do some business, always look at what not you're going to make, what you're going to lose. So this real estate business at that particular time, I did not find, I found it very lucrative, but I remember my uncle's word and I said, no, I don't want to get into that. Then after 2012, 13, and right enough, because if I had gone at that time, probably, people who were into the real estate business, everybody lost a huge amount of money. Most of the people went to bankrupt and they had to run away from there. 2012, 2013, when everything started falling back into position, the government made some good laws. That is the time we again started the real estate company. And luckily, so far, we have launched about 9 projects. And in this market also, all the 9 projects are 100% sold with very, very good record. I think one of the reasons everybody asks me, what is the reason that why are you able to sell this real estate company in spite of the market being down? So the concept here was, we started, number one is, we targeted the people who are paying the rents. Today, the rental is very, very high. Today, in UAE, we pay 10% rental for the property value. So this was conveyed to all the people that if you want to stay here for a longer time, why you want to pay rent? We spoke to the bank, we came out with some very good payment plan where the customer has to pay only 1% per month. So instead of paying the rental, he's paying the EMI of his flat. And that's how this model became successful. And touch wood, this is doing good. So this is how my journey is, from a very humble person, my dad, who was drawing salary and giving me only 15 rupees pocket money, to where I am today. as Rizwan Sajan, as you see, the chairman of the Danube group of companies. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Rizwan Sajan, for your wonderful insight.